Camila had never seen children so quiet. When she entered the room for the first time, the twins Daniel and Diego were sitting on the bed, eyes fixed on the white wall. 5 years old and no smile. No movement. Just slow, mechanical breathing. Leonardo Ferrera's mansion was a monument to power. Italian marble, original works of art, floor-to-ceiling windows. But inside those elegant walls, something was deeply wrong. The billionaire had spent millions on experimental treatments for his twin sons, diagnosed with a rare neurological condition. Private doctors, imported equipment, 24-hour nurses. Camila was the 6th nanny in 8 months. A black woman from a humble background, she had raised 3 younger siblings on her own. She knew how to recognize when a child was sick. And she knew how to recognize when something else was going on. On the first day, she observed the routine. 7 in the morning, blue medication. 9 in the morning, yellow medication. Noon, injection administered by Dr. Helena Campos, a 40-year-old woman with an impeccable lab coat and a cold smile. Each dose left the boys more faded, more distant, more dead inside. Leonardo barely looked at his children. When he entered the room, he only checked the medical reports on the clipboards hanging on the wall. He never touched them. Never asked how they felt. To him, the boys were a medical problem to be solved with money and science. On the 3rd night, Camila woke up to a strange noise. She went down the stairs silently and saw through the crack in the door. Dr. Helena was in the kitchen, mixing something in an unlabeled vial. Her hands trembled slightly as she measured drops of a transparent liquid. When she realized someone was there, she quickly put everything into her bag and left through the back door. Camila felt her stomach churn. That was not in the official protocols. If you are enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Leave a comment saying what you thought and which city or country you are watching from. Your interaction helps a lot. The next day, something even more disturbing happened. Camila decided to observe everything with heightened attention. She mentally noted every movement of Dr. Helena, every reaction of the boys, every whispered conversation between the billionaire and the doctor. Dr. Helena Campos was internationally respected. Trained at the best European universities, with publications in renowned scientific journals, a sought-after speaker at medical conferences. Her reputation was shielded, untouchable, and she knew it. During consultations, Helena spoke in a soft, technical voice. She explained complex terms with calculated patience. She showed charts, studies, statistics. Leonardo drank in every word as if they were sacred commandments. For a man accustomed to controlling everything with money, that woman represented the definitive solution. But Camila noticed details that no one else saw. The way Helena touched the boys, quick, mechanical, without human warmth. The strange gleam in her eyes when she increased dosages. The barely concealed irritation whenever Camila asked simple questions about the children's well-being. On a rainy afternoon, Camila dared to break a rule. She waited for Helena to leave for lunch and entered the improvised medical office on the 2nd floor of the mansion. Her heart beat wildly. Her hands were cold with sweat. She knew she could be fired instantly if she were discovered. In the files, she found contradictory reports. In official documents sent to the hospital, Helena described progressive improvements. But in handwritten personal notes, there were accounts of deterioration, severe side effects, and unauthorized medication adjustments. 2 completely different narratives about the same patients. She photographed everything with her phone, hands shaking. That same night, Leonardo summoned Camila for a private conversation in his office. The environment was intimidating, walls lined with dark wood, leather armchairs, an enormous desk that felt like a courtroom. Helena was seated beside him, posture upright, expression serene. Leonardo got straight to the point. He said he had noticed her intrusive behavior, her inappropriate questions, her disrespect for the established medical protocol. Helena added in a gentle but firm tone, excessive emotional attachment could harm the boys' treatment. Camila was confusing care with interference. Camila felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. But she did not let her fear show. She looked Leonardo in the eyes and said just one sentence, "I only want your children to truly get better, sir." She left the room with dignity, even knowing she was being watched as a threat. That night, she could not sleep. She knew she had little time before being fired or something worse happened. She needed to act quickly, but intelligently. She could not confront the system head-on alone. She needed irrefutable evidence. In the following days, Camila changed her strategy. She stopped asking questions. She stopped showing suspicion. She became invisible, just another obedient employee following orders. But her eyes were alert to every movement. She began to document everything discreetly. She filmed the boys before and after the medications with her old cell phone, always at angles that seemed accidental. She wrote down the exact times of the applications. She kept empty packages that Helena threw in the kitchen trash. Small fragments of evidence that, on their own, meant nothing, but together began to form a frightening pattern. The decisive moment happened in the early hours of a Thursday morning. Camila heard footsteps in the hallway. Through the crack in the door of the room where she slept, she saw Helena going up the stairs with a case different from the usual ones. She waited a few minutes and followed her in absolute silence. Helena entered the twins' room. Camila positioned herself outside, cell phone in hand, recording through the lower gap of the door. What she saw left her frozen. Helena was administering a substance that was not listed in any official protocol. The boys no longer reacted. They were completely blank. When Helena left, Camila ran back to her room. She needed something more concrete. She returned to the medical office, this time prepared. She copied digital files using a flash drive she had bought specifically for this. She photographed prescriptions. She documented inconsistencies between official reports and personal notes. She had enough material to expose Helena. But she knew she would need a powerful ally. And there was only one person who could truly change everything, Leonardo himself. She needed to make him see the truth before it was too late. The opportunity arose unexpectedly. On Friday morning, Daniel had a violent seizure. Camila was in the room when it happened. The boy shook uncontrollably, eyes rolled back, foam at his mouth. She carefully held his head, preventing him from hurting himself, while shouting for help. Leonardo came running, pale as never before. For the first time in months, there was genuine fear in his eyes. Fear of losing his son. Helena appeared seconds later, already preparing a syringe with transparent liquid. "No!" Camila shouted, stepping between Helena and the boy. "This medicine is not making him better. It is killing him little by little." Leonardo looked at her as if she had gone mad. Helena maintained her professional calm. "Camila, step aside. You are not qualified to question medical procedures. You are putting his life at risk." But Camila did not move. In a firm voice, she said, "Mr. Leonardo, I have proof. Videos, documents, contradictory reports. Everything this woman has been doing behind your back." She showed the cell phone. In the images, Helena administering unidentified substances. In the files, falsified reports. Dosages altered without authorization. A systematic pattern of manipulation that had extended for months. Leonardo snatched the phone from Camila's hands. He watched everything in silence. His face went through several emotions: disbelief, anger, horror. When he finished, he slowly turned to Helena. "Explain this. Now." Helena tried to maintain her composure, but something in her expression cracked. They were necessary adjustments to the experimental protocol. You would not understand the technical complexity involved. I was saving your children. Saving. Leonardo laughed without humor. My children are worse every day. And you were profiting from this, weren't you? He opened the financial files Camila had copied. Bank transfers from pharmaceutical laboratories. Payments for unauthorized tests. Helena had been using Daniel and Diego as human guinea pigs for experimental research, receiving fortunes while pretending to treat them. Leonardo picked up the phone and called the police and the medical board. Helena was detained right there, still trying to justify her actions with empty scientific jargon. In the following weeks, the mansion underwent a complete transformation. Leonardo dismissed the entire previous medical staff and hired truly ethical specialists, who subjected Daniel and Diego to detailed examinations. They discovered that the boy's condition, although real, had been drastically exaggerated by Helena to justify her experiments. With the correct treatment and, above all, with genuine affection, the twins began to respond. It was not instant magic. It was small daily progress. A shy smile. A mumbled word. A spontaneous hug. Simple things that Leonardo had forgotten to value. Camila remained in the house, but now with a different role. Leonardo promoted her to care coordinator, with a fair salary and an active voice in decisions about the boys. She trained the new team, teaching that medication without humanity cures no one. The billionaire also changed. He began working from home 3 days a week to be present. He learned how to change diapers, tell bedtime stories, play on the floor. He discovered that being a father was not about delegating care, but about being present in both small and big moments. Helena faced criminal prosecution and had her medical license revoked. Investigations revealed that she had done the same to other wealthy families in different countries. Dozens of children were used as guinea pigs while desperate parents paid fortunes believing they were saving their children. 6 months later, Daniel said his first complete sentence, "Camila, thank you." Diego hugged his father for the first time since the diagnosis. Leonardo cried like he had not cried since he lost his wife years earlier. Camila looked out the window and smiled. She knew the struggle had been worth it. Not because she was a heroine, but because she had chosen to see what everyone else ignored, that behind medical protocols and fortunes spent, there were 2 children who only needed to be seen as human. The true cure was never bought. It was earned through courage, presence, and love. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Tell us in the comments what you thought and where you are watching from. Your participation makes all the difference. Until the next story.